Thank you very much. Hey guys, I'm pumped you guys are here and aren't at the Wall Street Journal's pool party. It's so hilarious. I'm Australian. I'm pretty friendly. I have some stuff prepared, but I'd love to do Q&A. Megan thought Q&A would be great for the room. So I'm going to prattle on for a little bit to introduce Charity Water. I think some of you guys might know us. If anyone's got a question, we've got 10 minutes. I'd love to take some. If no one has a question, I'll talk a lot about birthdays and our business model. Looks like we got it back. G'day, Brian. How you going? Bonobos, who are a great corporate partner of ours. There's actually Charity Water Bonobos pants coming out soon. I'll have to give you a link for it. These are really helpful. Great piece of conference advice. Wear green pants, and then anyone you want to meet will find you straight away. Quick intro on Charity Water. I didn't expect that as the first question. We're a non-profit based in New York City. We're a startup non-profit. We're just 6 years old, and we're really very much like a digital organization. So we're a non-traditional non-profit. We do about 75% of our fundraising online, and we say we're about two things: solving the world's water crisis, which means we're helping to bring clean water to the 800 million people living without us. Some of our great partners have been here today: Eric Stowe from Splash.org, Brian from A Glimmer of Hope. There's some great people in the room already. You've touched on the issue. But we also say that we're out here to reinvent charity and try and do charity differently. And there's three big brand pillars for us that are really important from that purpose. First being our 100% model. Every cent we raise publicly, we use to fund water projects. So we have two bank accounts, one that funds staff, ink in the office printer, travel, every other expense. And every cent we raise, we send to the field. We even pay back credit card fees. Second is we're trying to build an epic brand. So we are committed to design excellence. We've got some of the best creatives running around on the planet. We're trying to make people love us like they love Apple or Nike. So we have this really high standard of brand. We think that's the only way we can build a movement to solve this thing. And third is we're really focused on helping people see their impact. So from day one, every water point we've built, we've marked on Google Maps, and we've presented that information back to donors. And we're working on more and more innovative ways to really try to break down time, break down distance, and connect people here in the developing world who can give the funds to the 800 million people living without clean drinking water. So in a nutshell, that's us. Quickly, did anyone have a question for starters? And do we want to go that route, or should I talk a bit about the model? First question's brave. Oh, we've got one at the back. Yeah, where do the funds come from to cover our overhead? Primarily major donors. So we have a group called The Well. It's a nice bit of branding in itself. It has about 94 members who only fund operations. They sign up for 3-year commitments. We've got individuals giving from $24,000 a year up to one individual gives $2 million a year. And they know that they're giving to fund our staff, to fund our mission, to try to fund the growth, and also to try to help us build hockey stick growth so we can grow like you see a Facebook or a Twitter growing, something that we haven't seen before in the charitable space. Also some corporate and foundation support help that budget as well, and some of our merchandise. So if you buy cool charity water pants from Bonobos, you'll help pay staff salaries. Yeah, there's one over here. Are we finding the 100% model is a benefit? Yeah, it's been fundamental to us. So when we were founded, our founder, Scott Harrison, one of his big motivations was that his friends were uninspired to give. He'd been a nightclub promoter in New York City for a decade, which is a job where you get paid to throw awesome parties. I didn't know it existed. We don't have that in Sydney. He had a crisis of faith, changed his life, spent 2 years in Liberia, and then, some music. I didn't know that was the wind-up speech like the Academy Awards. And then when he came back, he really wanted to find a way to inspire his friends and have them start to give again. And part of that was the 100% model. So for us, it's been a really strong commitment. It's really hard to do. So a lot of people ask us about it. It's a hard one to model off, but for us, it's very important. It also allows us to do things with transparency, like tie a $5 donation a 6-year-old child makes directly to a water project, knowing that all of that $5 went through, all of that $20 went through. So with our grassroots web-based approach, it really, really fits well. Anyone else have anything? Yes?
Track that.
Thanks, Lizzie. I can repeat questions as well. We're talking a bit about how we deliver great projects and track it and do great work in the field. For us, the secret of that is our partnership model. So we work with amazing organizations in 20 countries. We work with Glimmer of Hope, who's based here in Austin, and one of our best partners. We work with them and a great non-profit on the ground in Ethiopia. People can come up to this mic too if you've got a question as well. Water for People, Ned Breslin spoke here earlier today, are another organisation we work with in multiple countries. So they do amazing work on the ground, and we work with them to get great data and do great monitoring. The coolest thing that's happening on that front for us right now, last December, we were awarded a Google grant, $5 million to develop remote sensor technology. And we are so excited about this because we think it can transform our business and also transform the sector. So right now there's 7,000 water points around the world funded by charity water donors. We are going to very quickly have remote sensors on almost all of them. So we'll know in real time, did water pump today? And once we have that data, then we think we can completely change the model of sustainability, of how our partners work in the field. If you think about working in some of the harshest climates and the toughest areas in the globe, trying to monitor things effectively is a really difficult challenge. So if we can solve that problem with technology, which Google's helping us to do, we think that we can make a huge transformation. Anyone else have another question? We've got a mic up the front. I'll talk, one other thing that I wanted to share, if we had no questions, was a little bit about birthdays and why they're important to us. And I thought, what can I give to this room? I'm sure it's a room of do-gooders and change makers that you can maybe take to your business or to the cause that you really care about. And for us, birthdays has been one of the most fundamental things, but it's really a symbol. So we started with a birthday party. The first thing we did at Charity Water, our founder threw a birthday party, had his friends come, give $20 at the door, took all that money to Uganda, built 6 wells, marked them on Google Maps, and then sent reports to everyone. He said people didn't even remember going to his birthday party. And then they got reports showing where they'd made an impact in the world. So as we thought about how do we scale, we can't really scale one birthday party that much, but we can scale a movement of birthdays. So we started every September asking people with September birthdays to give them up, ask for donations instead of gifts, knowing that all their friends, 100% of their money will go to the field and they'd see their impact. A few years later, we built a website that could really simply do it, a platform called My Charity Water. Since then, we've had 9,000 individuals raise $9 million through giving up their birthdays. This simple idea. And we've seen this really interesting range where we've had Justin Bieber's done 2 birthdays, and if Justin Bieber tweets about you, your tweet deck explodes like a slot machine. And he sends so much traffic it almost crashes the server, and we get 14, 15-year-old girls signed up on a volunteer list in 3 minutes. I think we saw a bit of that earlier today. But also, really, it's been about normal people. The average fundraiser is $1,000, but importantly, the average fundraiser drives 13 new donations. And what I think is really important about that, what's really important to our model, is what we try to do is not just get people's money. I think there was a great quote I saw on Twitter as I was flying across the country from Eric Stowe earlier today about treating donors like ATMs. And for us, what we want to do is build a relationship with people for years and maximize their ability to give, to raise, and to influence others. Now, if you do a birthday, if you just for a second think about if you gave up your next birthday for clean drinking water, if you think about the 10 people you would ask, I guarantee that's the 10 people you influence most in the world. You're not going to walk around outside with a sandwich board and ask for donations. You're going to ask your immediate family. You're going to ask your best friends. You're going to ask your co-workers. These are the people that you have the most influence on in the world. So by building this movement of birthdays, not only is $1,000 raised better than an $80 donation, but this movement of 13 new donors, of a word-of-mouth marketing movement for clean water, is what we think will fundamentally scale and grow the issue. So the thing that we're really focused on right now is if we can make the customer experience for the donors, those 13 donors, so great that giving up a birthday with Charity Water is better than whatever else you're going to do, and just 2 of those donors out of 13 give up their birthdays, we can scale this massively. We've got a model to raise $100 million for 55,000 campaigners, and there's 300 million birthdays in America every year. So that, for us, is a really fundamental piece. And so what I would take away from that is how do you inspire your audience? How do you give them the ability to take your story, make it their story, and run with it? And then how do you give them a great customer experience and help them see their impact? So with that, I think we're great for time. Thank you very much. Hope you guys have a great day. And follow us at Charity Water.